Hello, namaste, and welcome to Agile Exploration Hub. I am your host Nagesh Deshpande. Today's episode will be a new episode, a special episode with a new guest. Topic will be leadership. Leadership skills Agile professional must build. That's what we are going to discuss. Why should you watch this episode? So many Agile professional with many certifications and all that, they do hard work, they deliver well, but still they cannot progress into a leadership role. So our speaker today Mr. Manoj Tripathi, who is a veteran, over 21 years of experience with global organization, global clients, who has mentored more than 3,000 professionals. As a PMP instructor and certified life coach, he is currently formalizing own leadership and branding venture, which will help to bridge the gap between technical agility and executive presence. Please welcome Manoj Tripathi. Hey, hi Manoj.
Thank, thank you, Nagesh, for inviting me and having me here. And
How are you,
I'm
sir?
really happy. Absolutely fine. Thank you. How about you?
Okay, yeah. So, to my audience, as you know, we record on weekends, and thank you, Manoj, for taking out time out from your busy schedule and being a speaker on my podcast today. So, Manoj, like I'm also nearly like 20 years experience in the industry right now. Okay, and I'm still looking for that leadership position because I can call myself a leader on paper, but it's still the designation is not there. I know designation doesn't matter, but I can do the leadership. But let's talk throughout this episode and see how can we grow into that area. So now, shall we start with the discussion?
Yes.
Yeah. So I just wanted to understand, how do many agile professionals struggle to be seen as a leader?
Wonderful. Very, very relevant question. And I personally call it ceremony trap,
Right.
right? It's a ceremony trap. Most of the time, our rising professionals, scrum masters, early scrum masters, sometimes even senior scrum masters and agile leaders, they think that being great scrum master or an agile coach is about being a process policing.
Right.
You cannot police the processes. You cannot just keep the uh, managership. That's what right manager. We
Right.
have to understand the difference between managership and the leadership, right?
True. Yeah.
Time is changed now, right?
Hmm.
So that managership is not the leadership, and you have to understand, if you just focus on your boards, your dashboards, your reports, that is not going to work. Now leaders are looking for the outcome. So output versus outcome. That difference and the understanding between these two keywords is very much there. And I think that is the primary reason why professionals are struggling to become a leader.
Great.
They always try to report, like, what was the status report, velocity, story points, retrospective status, knowledge sharing, all these things. That is bookish language that they have learned. Whereas the leaders are looking for the ROI. What are the risks? What are the mitigation plans? Business values, impact, outcome. So I think that terminology gap is very huge. That is preventing the early or rising leaders or the scrum masters to become a true leader. So I would not say it's just one way. The problem is from both sides.
Right.
Opportunities are at both ends, from leadership to the execution side, or from executors to leaders, both side. And that's a primary thing.
Very nice. Yeah, actually, I totally agree. We recently did one episode on output versus outcome, and
Hmm.
we did discuss on all these things. And I like the way you mention about the ceremony only mindset. So
Yes.
I mentioned in my podcast in the past, most of the some Scrum Master, they work in taco factories, tools and ceremony only.
Hmm.
So that's kind of a mindset we have to quit, and we have to think in a like like just now Manoj said, you need to show ROI. You need to show the risk that is you are going to handle and mitigate through the course of your project. So that's the crux of it. Let's move on to the next point. But what leadership gaps you know, slow career growth despite strong agile experience. Like I know many scrum masters or coaches who have like 10 years experience, but still there is a gap.
What leadership gaps, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, lots of gaps are there. I would not go with any bookish language, but I would talk about what my personal experience is there.
Hmm.
Today, whatever I'm discussing, it is based on purely on my own learning curve, what I have learned from the industry.
Right.
And the first thing what I see when I go to do the leadership or the business development health audit for my clients, at that time I see the some focus areas are first thing how the employees, especially the lower middle to upper middle client, middle leaders, the biggest lack is their business acumen or the financial learning understanding. They
Hmm.
are not able to translate their own team performance to the business financial value, and
Hmm.
that is the biggest challenge.
Right.
Whatever team is doing, whatever the output or outcome you are doing, that has to be showcased in the dollar values. That's how businesses run, right? We have been thinking about people, process, product, and partner, but there is a fifth pillar very mandatory, that is the profit.
Right.
We don't talk about. No business can run without the profit, right? So
Right.
that
Absolutely. Hmm.
people, process, product, and partner, all four pillars should be balanced enough to manage that business is the profitable. And then we are in the age of ESG and sustainable energy, where we are talking started talking about the planets. So now emerging leaders have to understand these terminology. Number one, understanding the financial values.
Hmm.
Number two, lack of courage to say no. That means I see that most of the time what they say that everything they will commit just because boss
Yes.
is saying.
Yes.
So
Yes.
they have
Agree.
to learn to say no if you are not in situation to deliver it. So overcommitment is another problem. Second thing is the executive level communication. Whatever reports they are sending, they are not thinking that whether it's going to my team or to the board member. There's a huge difference, right? Team members will require a report where their KPIs are showing.
Hmm.
Leadership will look for whether what is the business value is
Business
enhancing.
value.
So that is most important thing. That last not the least, but the lack of mindset of accepting the feedback. They have to be ready to listen, to understand, to accept the feedback, continuously do self retrospective for the self improvement. That is the next point. So if I say many of this in nutshell, I would say leaders don't promise you for the 5 years, 10 years, or 7 years, whatever time you have spent. Maybe you have successfully delivered 1,000 ceremonies. That is not going to help the business. The
Right.
business will require what was the outcome, what was the value added in terms of the company growth or business growth or the dollar value.
Right. Nice. You just now also mentioned about like a number of years, seniority kind of a thing. Like if someone spent 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. You know.
Exactly.
So these I can clearly see. I have seen the in my experience as well. People are highly in the number of experience, but they're just the senior. They do not have leadership skills. Now, how you see this difference between this scenario? You already mentioned few, but I want to hear more the difference between seniority and the leadership.
I would say huge difference.
Hmm.
And I guess there is a huge difference. Seniority would be maybe you have spent 5 year, 10 year in the same task.
Right.
Let's say customer support representative, call center executive. Maybe he became a team leader after 2 years, but he has spent 5 years, 7 year, 10 years as a team leader only. So he is doing the same repetitive task.
Hmm.
No new learning. Whereas the seniority and the leadership, or the leadership come with the outcome based delivery. Seniority is the numbers. How many numbers you have done, how many, maybe these many clients you have managed, these many sprints you have managed, these many projects you have managed. This can become a kind of numbers to show your seniority. But leadership is all about the delivering the business value. So as an agile, if you there, the seniority often means you've seen that more sprint, but leadership means you are navigating the ambiguity. It's not just about just spending the time, right?
Right.
So even if you are a scrum master, but if you are one who is able to connect the dots among the tech, business, customers, pushing, connecting with the stakeholders, and able to net the requirement, customer requirement, then you are the true leader. You are the emerging leader. The biggest gap is the disconnect between these three, four pillars that I talk about. What is the technology you have? What is the environment setup you have? What actually business is asking? What actual client is asking? Right? Most of the
Right.
time, products why failing? Senior consultants go and try to sell that they think it's good for customer.
Hmm. Right.
They are not trying to understand what actually customer is need.
Right.
So that understanding will be based on your experience, your deliveries. The more you interact with your client, your stakeholder, then that's how you become a good leader. And for
Correct.
that, you have to be open for the feedback. You have to open for the learning, self retrospective. Everything will continue. Then only you can become a leader.
Right. See, even in my past episode, we discussed on these things like feedback loop, inspect
Yes.
and adopt. So if you can't inspect yourself and adapt to the mistakes that you have made and the learnings that you have gained, you are not forgot about, you don't have basic agility. And if you want to grow into a leadership, then you have to accept the feedback, whichever it may be. It can be a negative, constructive, or positive feedback.
Yes.
Accept it, learn from it, and make sure that you implement those feedback, or you put those feedback into your work, and do it better next time. Now, moving on, next thing. We closely work with senior level people, senior leadership, and all that. Uh, but now there are few mistakes that we often make, which blocks the trust and the visibility at senior level. What kind of mistakes, common mistake people make?
I would say it's not a mistake, but I think it's a unawareness, or
Okay.
maybe they are not properly trained.
Hmm.
Agile training is something, if we look at, we both of us in the agile industry, and we see, I think 80% or 85% market is captured for the agile is just because the scrum master role.
Right.
And if somebody is a scrum master, that person think he is a agile master. Let's
Hmm.
understand, agile is a Bible.
Right.
Agility is the mindset perception. It has the behavioral changes. It's not just a 2 day certification of the scrum master, right?
Agree.
So the
Hmm.
first mistake is somebody did 2 days certification, got the Scrum Master certificate. Luckily enough, got a chance to join as a Scrum Master, spend 4 5 years. But after that, when they are in the real practice, they are not trying to upgrade yourself,
Hmm.
right? Because agility is the ocean. It's been more than
True.
10 years I have been in this industry, and I'm still learning. And I feel that I still don't know many things, right?
True. Absolutely true.
Yes. So
Yeah.
every day when you go and listen, read some literature, listen some good podcast from the international level of speakers, so many things are there that you don't know, right?
True.
So I believe in the practical nutshell, I don't want to go in that depth, but in the practical reality, what I have seen, there are two, three things. Number one the passive stakeholder management.
Hmm. Okay. Nice.
When I say passive stakeholder means people just wait to be invited to speak about.
Hmm.
They will not react or participate or contribute in any activity until they are asked to do that. Right? That is the biggest challenge, especially I'm talking for the emerging leaders who have just 4 5 years of experience in agile field. They are looking forward to become agile coach or enterprise coach. They have to understand what you have to tell the world, right? And without knowing, nobody will invite you.
True.
That's a cycle. So whenever you get chance, let me tell you one example. What happens? A mail chain is going on, and two, three people are in the CC. I personally have seen so many ego and got the response of why should I respond when I'm in CC? I'm not supposed to respond. When somebody will require my opinion, then he will take my name, then a person call me, and then I will give my version. So that is the one mistake that you do. What I feel, whenever you get an opportunity and you think you can add on some value in this conversation, go ahead with that,
True.
right? Maybe you are wrong, maybe your perception was not available, but you have to start somewhere. So don't hesitate. So number one, you have to be active stakeholder manager. Connect with the stakeholders, understand their priorities, get create the personal rapport, and then only can. Whenever you get opportunity, try to be spontaneous, try to be inclusive, try to put your opinion. Whether it's being accepted or not, that's a different thing. But you have to
True.
start it, right? And
Right.
that is the reason, especially in the software development. We have been looking at the softer quality and the slower delivery even while doing more agile, right? Even after the quality is getting decreased just because of the unhealthy coordination. People are doing agile ceremony just for the sake of the timeline and task completion.
Agree.
So the concept of agile is not actually being executed in reality. Why
True.
agile started? 10 people, 10 brains. They all work together and then we can build the best. Right. So Scrum Masters also understand that they are not the team leader or they are not the manager. They are just a facilitator.
Hmm.
So that term has to be implemented in reality. So I think when they start behaving and I would say rather say practicing the true leadership, true servant leadership, they will automatically get a chance to rise.
Great. Absolutely right. I totally agree with on many of the points that you mentioned. People do not show up.
Yes.
Okay. Even if they have the information, even if they can solve the problem, they said
Yes.
it's not my area. Why should I look into it?
Ah, nobody asked me, so why should I answer?
Yeah, nobody's asking me.
Yeah.
So stop doing that. If you know the solution, better solution, what will happen? They may not listen to you, they reject you, but at least you will be heard. If even one right person heard your solution, or he or she likes the solution, you will get the visibility in the leadership. So
Exactly.
keep doing that. Now, moving on. Uh, like we just talked about leadership or authority. Okay. So, like how agile professionals influence without authority. So, we want to influence stakeholders, maybe team members, or even leadership.
So as I said, in agile world, if we have a true agile environment, there is nothing like you don't have any authority.
Right.
If you are a part of team, you have equal authority.
True.
Just because somebody is certified or in he got some experience and he became the scrum master or team leader or project manager, he is managing the things, but I think entire team has the equal authority to speak about. So
Hmm.
number one, don't think like you don't you are uncounted or you are unheard. So leaders are hungry for the data centric conversation. In the
Hmm.
boardroom, what happens if the team is called for a meeting? They always just try to showcase the green dashboard only,
Hmm. Right.
right? So that's what we say that projects are working like the watermelon and kiwi model, very famous model, right?
Yeah, watermelon. Yes,
So
I
we
know.
have we have to understand leadership can see your information radiators, your dashboard. These days everything is available online. Anybody can see. They are not calling you for that just to read and explain that. They are looking for the data centric decision making, data centric information that you have, what values you can put on, and based on your experience and execution that you have observed the business requirement and what you have executed. In between, what is your suggestion? Your input is going to help leaders to take a decision. Then only you are heard, and that those meetings are the gateway of your growth. Most
Right.
of the time early leaders just spoil it, they spoil this opportunity.
Hmm.
They are there but they are not contributing anything. Somebody asks, no sir, whatever he said it's good, whatever Mr. X said it's right, I'm agree with that, right? No, speak about it. If you have any opinion, right, wrong, good, bad, whatever, you add your value. You
Right.
never know, your point is actually valuable but nobody else was speaking, right? So you have to be
Absolutely.
talkative,
Hmm.
not
Right.
without any base. You should have your own exercise, you should have the facts, but try to be open and build your rapport with the stakeholders and leaders.
Right. Another thing I want to add here, if you want to
Yes,
really,
yes,
yeah, really want to influence people, have the data.
yes.
Data
That's what
about
I'm the
everything.
data centric speaking.
Yes. Have the data for everything. You know,
Yes,
the past data, the present data, and build a predictability based on that data.
yes,
Okay. And try to showcase that. And you need not to be, it need not to be a fancy presentation or PPT.
yes.
Showcase that. Based on this data, my assumption will be like this sprint will fail, this sprint will go good, all that. You try to analyze and give that results. It will automatically, your personality will become influencing you, and there is no authority. No one is stopping you to dig down to the Jira or Azure DevOps data. It's your territory.
Yes.
dig down into that data, bring the numbers, showcase it. So,
Again, yeah, agree with you. That's what we started with, that people have to work for the business, not for the task,
right,
right? So till the time you don't understand, and that's why we say the approach has to come from the top to bottom,
agree. Yes.
right?
Hmm.
Leadership involvement is very less, and especially in agile executions. I will take two examples. Recently, I was taking a batch for CAPM.
Okay.
So while taking the session for the business analyst, one of the candidates says that why these leaders, they don't tell what they need, just send the data and say give something special, say give something valuable, and they don't know what to ask. And that's
Hmm.
what I said, buddy. That's why you are there. If leader has the data and leader know what to pull, he can the supply the formula. He can take it. Why he has employed you,
Right.
right? So that's a job. Analysis job. I always compare with the, you have to go and find something from the raw data to valuable value. So you
Right.
have to understand the business, you have to understand the data, you have to understand the tool, utilize this, then your experience and brain, then try to find out from this data what are the information can add value to my business.
True.
That's why you are employed there. And if you are asking that has been told by the employer, then what's your job there? Why you are employed?
Hmm.
Right. So this mindset has to be changed. I think only thing is
Right.
all about the shift of the perception,
Right. Mindset shift is
mindset
important.
and perception. Yeah.
Right. So, to my audience, Manoj did mention in between about watermelon effect. Okay. So, if you know about watermelon effect, put it in the comment. If you don't know, put it in the comment. We will share more information on watermelon effect in in next video or in the chat box. Uh, Moving on to the last question, Manoj. What should professionals start doing now immediately to grow as a leader? Few tips.
The very first thing that I will do, you have to start a habit of self retrospective on the
Mhm.
weekly basis. How your week went well. Apart
Yeah.
from your business reports, you have to start thinking about your own learning curve. Did you actually add some value or not?
Right.
If not, it's a red flag for you. Today or tomorrow, it will be a problem. So, growth is all about directly proportional to the business value you have delivered. Second thing, don't always talk about your projects or agile terminology, but start talking in the business language.
True. Mm.
Business language is very important. You have to understand whether business is doing good, what are the collaborations are, who are the stakeholders, what the company vision is there. Try to be involved in your board meetings, right? And you have to cater your vision, your roadmap according to the business requirement, industry requirement. So in your organization, there are many people who have the financial KPIs, finance department, your CFO, your product manager. All these profiles, they are actually working on the company vision. They know where company is lacking or they're growing. Connect with them. Try to build your personal rapport. Same
Right.
thing, rather than telling what we did, start talking about what we achieved. Again, in terms of the outcome.
Right.
And the last, not the least, be resilient. Ups and downs will come in your life. People will
True.
be good or bad everywhere. You keep changing the company, you keep changing the society, you keep changing as a life coach, I always say be resilient. Try to face the problems and try to grow yourself. Rather than changing the world, you can change yourself. Someday will come, then somebody will call you and ask the help from you as well.
Great. Yeah. So, in short, weather the storm, face it, learn from your mistakes. Okay.
Yes.
Great discussion. Uh, so, from the entire audience of Agile Exploration Hub, Manoj, we would like to say thank you from bottom of our hearts for being such a wonderful speaker today. Keep supporting us. Uh, we will definitely invite you for next episode. So, from entire audience, thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me here. And I would like to tell anybody can go to my LinkedIn profile. We will put the link in description.
Yes.
And I have every day about 1 hour of slot available, 15 minute slot there. Anybody can go and book free of cost for the career guidance. So that is my way to giving back to the society. So if you have any question, any of the audience have any question about your, career trajectory, what to learn, how to learn, any question, ask me anything. Just go ahead and block your calendar, whatever is available, and definitely I would love to help you with it.
That is so great gesture, Manoj. Thanks a lot.
Thank
So
you.
I will put the contact details, LinkedIn profile of Manoj in description box. So do get connected and ask your questions. So once again, thank you and bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.